Babylon system is the vampire. Yeah. Sucking the children day by day. Yeah.
Hi there folks, this newscast hits on two recent pieces of legislation that have passed in the state of California, and I wanted to hit on the first one, which is AB750. This is a bill to study the feasibility of establishing a state-owned bank that would receive deposits of state funds. This has passed both houses of the legislature and is now on Governor Jerry Brown's desk. He can sign it, and we need to push him to sign this bill. I will be writing a pre-made letter and posting it on pacificprogress.us that you can print out, sign yourself, and mail in to Jerry Brown, so that way we can continue to push these people to get a state-run banking system in place. I'm not talking about something that's bad for us. I'm talking about something that's good. I got this email from Democracy Unlimited. It shows a map of the United States and the banks that, and the states that have public banking going into place. North Dakota has had public banking in place for a very long time. Oklahoma's got it in their state as well. There are red and blue states here. Those aren't political affiliations. Those are listing states that have bills or have another type of state bill in place to get the ball rolling for public banking. Why is this good? Let's check out North Dakota. This article by Ellen Brown on Global Research. Ellen Brown is great. She wrote the book Web of Debt. It's a wonderful book. It's a must-read if you want to understand what's going on in this financial system, period. She hits on North Dakota in this article and talks about the bank being the only state to be in continuous budget surplus since the banking crisis began. Its balance sheet is so strong that it recently reduced individual income taxes and property taxes by a combined $400 million and is debating further cuts. The state has the lowest unemployment rate, lowest foreclosure rate, lowest credit card default rate in the country, and it hasn't had a bank failure in the last decade. It gets in. She goes into more positive things that the Bank of North Dakota has done for the state. And this is something that we need to press Jerry Brown on. I'll have the link to this article posted on this YouTube and on pacificprogress.us. And I'm going to be creating a pre-made letter for you to send in. And we can get him to sign this and get the ball rolling for this. This needs to happen. Why do we need a public banking system in place that the people run? It's because of situations like this. The Federal Reserve, as we've known previously, is using your money to bail out European commercial banks once again. As we saw previously with the TARP bailout and other bailouts that happened at that time, $3.06 trillion were given to overseas foreign financial institutions during those bailouts. And this is the same thing all over again. If you read this article, it gets into a specific that is very, very bad. And I mean, it's obviously very bad. Just ahead of, and this is reported by CNBC, just ahead of Wall Street open on Thursday, the ECB, along with the U.S. Federal Reserve, Bank of England, Bank of Japan, and Swiss National Bank, announced they would offer 3-month dollar loans to Europe's commercial banks, easing dollar funding constraints. They're just going to do whatever amount of bailouts they want to these people. That's it. So how much money is going to be loaned out? The unlimited. They would be able to borrow unlimited amount of money in October, November, and December. They got to put up some collateral, and then you get some money. And like this says, but of course this reality is not going to solve anything in the long run. You can't solve a raging debt problem with more debt. That's the common sense issue with the monetary system around the world right now. You can't do it with more debt. You can't do it. The debt needs to go. Don't get me into that, folks. Let me get into the next issue here, AB 499. piece of legislation that has recently passed in California takes away the need for parents to be consented when their children are treated for sexually transmitted diseases and other forms of healthcare procedures. I've got the links to these articles right here on pacificprogress.us and in this YouTube description. You'll be able to check it all out. But it's not really okay to take parents out of the equation concerning how their children are treated. Case in point with this, not only does AB 499 remove a parent's right to give their informed consent, but parents will not even have the right to be informed if their child is vaccinated. A child will most likely not know his or her family history of allergies, autoimmune diseases, or adverse reactions to other vaccines or medications, all of which are essential to consider before the administration of any vaccine. You can read the bill right here. Assembly Bill 499. First page of it, very clearly. A minor who is 12 years of age or older and who may come into contact with an infectious, contagious, or communicable disease that may consent to medical care, related to the diagnosis or treatment of the disease, if the disease or condition is one that is required by law or regulation adopted pursuant to law to be reported to the local health officer, or is a related sexually transmitted disease, as may be determined by the public health officer. Folks, that opens them up to be able to quote-unquote diagnose our children with whatever they may see fit from whatever symptoms our children may possibly have, and administer vaccines and treatment to them. I want to tell you and show you specifically and obviously why this is wrong. Got the information right here, folks. Cal Watchdog put out a good article on this, and I want to show you the people behind this. Merck paid legislators to pass Gardasil vaccine bill, the AB 499 that we're talking about. We have names. I'm not pulling punches. This was on Natural Society. I've got the article from Cal Watchdog, the link to it right on pacificprogress.us. Merck bankrolled anti-parent bill. And like I said, folks, names and numbers right here. These are the names of the people in the state Senate and state assembly and the amounts of money that they got from Merck. And these people passed this anti-parent bill. We've got to stop this, folks. We've got to stop this tyranny. We have to stop it now. I want to thank you very much for listening to me. All this information's out there on the YouTube description, on the links on my website. Check them out, folks. Protect yourselves, protect your family, know the law, and fight back. We can stop them if we make our voices heard and we stand up against this and tell them no. If we just sit back and look, that's going to do nothing.
Yes, we begin to see the intentions of these creations. The patterns of epidemics like HIV in the 80s. Biological chemicals designed to be contagious is nothing in the business of controlling a population.